Hi, this video will take you through the entire process of creating a simple report and putting it in the repository and having it updated each night. The steps we'll cover include creating a data source, creating a report design, creating a report definition, adding it to the queue, setting up the report processor to put the report into the repository. Let's first set up our data source. We'll go to the File menu and click New Data Source. We're going to hook up to the Northwind Access database, and let's call this data source Daily Sales. Choose Access. We'll browse for the file. Choose Open. And at this point we can see a drop-down list of all the tables and queries in this Access database. We're going to choose Product Sales by Day. And now we can actually view the data and see if our connection is correct. Let's design a report. First, let's go to the Preferences screen and make sure that we are going to start a new report design with an existing data source. You have a couple of options here, but this is the one that probably is most used. Then we'll come to the main menu, choose File, and choose New Report Design. And then we'll select our data source, which is called Daily Sales. Now we have a blank report design, and if we click on the Field List tab, we can see our data source. And if we open up that branch, we can see all the fields in our data source. We're going to use the report wizard to quickly create a report. So we'll go over here to the Smart tag for the report. Click on Design in Report Wizard. We'll go with a standard report. We'll bring all the fields into the report. And we will group by category. Now we can choose various layouts and orientations. We'll choose Outline 1 as our layout. We'll leave our appearance as bold. We'll make the title of the report Daily Sales Summary. And click Finish. Now the wizard has created our report. We're going to go to the Group and Sort tab. And what we want to do here is add a sort. We've already got a group for the category. We're going to create a sort for the sales amount and make it in descending order so the highest sales product shows up first. To close the Group and Sort window, we'll just click on the Design panel. And now we can preview the report and see how it looks. We can do a lot of detail work here, changing formats and colors and fonts, but this is good enough for what we want to do. And then finally, let's hit the Save button and give it a name. Press OK. The report saved, and now we're back to the navigator. It's now time to create a report definition. Report definitions allow us to reused report designs many times, and that's one of the powerful features of our program. So let's choose from the File menu, New Report Definition. And we'll give the definition name, we'll call it Sales Summary. And we'll choose from our list of designs, and we only have one design now called Daily Sales Summary. And for a title, we'll call it Prior Day's Sales. And we'll click on the green checkbox to save our edits. Now let's go to the Parameters tab and choose Date. We're going to assign a date parameter, and to add a parameter we come down and click the plus green button to append a parameter. We'll call the parameter name Date Range with no spaces. And we want this to be a dynamic date, which means that the date's going to change depending on when the reports run. And since we're looking for prior day sales, we'll choose yesterday as our dynamic date range. And now our parameters are set. Now at this point we need to tell the report design about the parameters. So we're going to go right back into the report design using this button here. Here's our report again. And if I come over to the Field List tab, you'll see that under Parameters there's nothing there. To bring the parameters in, we go to the main toolbar and click on the Load Parameters button. Now as soon as I do that, I can come back over here, expand this branch, and I can see all the parameters that will be associated with this design, including the date range which I just added, and also Title 1, Title 2, and whatever global and user or my preferences or my parameters are available. Now to make this report sensitive to this date range, we're going to create a report filter. So I come back over here to the Smart tag and go to where it says Filter String. We'll click on the three dots to build our filter, and on the Visual tab we're going to add a filter. We're going to choose the sales date from the fields in our data source, and we want the sales date to be between two of our parameters. And we added a parameter called date range, but also two other parameters got entered: date range start and date range end. The reason for that is the parameter date range is actually a string, and we want two date type parameters, so those are automatically added for us. Now I click over here to bring up the question mark. That signifies the parameters that are available. So date range start just popped up nice, and we'll come over here and we'll change that to the question mark again, and now we'll choose date range end. And because we're making a comparison to a date type field, only the date type parameters show up. So sales date is between start and end. We're good. We'll hit OK, and now our filter's been added. A couple other things we're going to do here is this label is fixed at Daily Sales Summary, but what we're going to do is we're going to modify that so it instead comes from the parameter Title 1. So we'll click on the Smart tag for that label and go to Data Binding, and we can now choose Title 1. And now that basically becomes a dynamic type title, which will depend on what the report definition is. And let's just widen up this report header band and drag over the company name. And there we go. So we've added a filter based on parameters, based on our report definition, as well as we've got a dynamic title and another global parameter on our report. We need to save our report, so we'll click on the Save button. And report saved. We can close this window. We're back to the report definition. We can close this, and our report definition is done.